Welcome to the Lion's Den, where you'll find men just talking. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. And today I have two kings with me. I'd let them introduce themselves. To the left of me, I have.
Hello, my name is Weston James. I am a member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, Psi Iota Chapter, Dover, Delaware.
Next to.
And I'm Dr. Keith Pettiford, member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, part of the Gamma Theta Lambda chapter here in Wilmington, Delaware.
And I'm Renard, your host. We're going to just dive into this thing. And one of my first questions is, what resonated with you guys when you heard the podcast to make you want to come and sit in the den?
Yeah, so for me, it's really about having this type of conversation. You know, I'm from a generation where we don't really have these types of conversations, right? And you know, especially with the many things that I've seen over the last several years with our men, it's time that we do have those conversations. Be open, be candid. A lot of that information that you share may be helpful to someone else, right?
Exactly.
So that was one biggest reason why one big thing.
And for me, I'm from that generation where what happened in your house stayed in your house.
Yeah.
You know, you really didn't put that kind of information out for it to be public. And this is vital information because it's part of your health.
Yes.
I'd rather, as I said in church, I'd rather be proactive than reactive.
Yes.
And I think this is very important, and you can reach the masses when you do it this way as well.
And that's kind of the goal, to reach as many people as possible. I've had people come to me and tell me stories of after they heard the podcast, they actually went and had their appointments and so on.
Good stuff.
Yes. So for you guys, what do you guys do yearly, monthly, or whatever, in terms of your health care personally?
I know for me, I'm on it all the time. You name the appointment, I'm there. So my normal checkups, vision, dental, all those things, right? Because you never know what may come up.
Right.
And then as soon as the doctor tells me, okay, you need to take care of this or make this adjustment to your lifestyle, I make the adjustment, right? Because the last thing I want to do is not do it,
Right.
and then something else happens, and now I'm in a worse situation.
Right. And
So I'm always on top of those every year, and then I encourage all the brothers to do the same.
Right.
Even when I turned 50, and I said, all right, I'm getting a colonoscopy. I'm not playing, right?
Right.
And now when my friends turn 50, happy birthday,
Yeah.
go get your colonoscopy.
Right.
Just certain things like that, just to make sure that we stay as healthy as we can.
And for me, when I turned 40, I decided on my own. I said, when I turned 40, I decided to start taking better care of myself. And that's when I started doing my yearly physicals, head to toe, top to bottom, front to back, however you want to say it. And that's when I found out, about an illness that I had. But from that point on, it's been my goal to at least go once a year to get a full physical based on my doctors. Well, I got a couple of doctors, but based on their diagnosis, what I need to do and all that kind of stuff. I need to do a better job of being in the gym and exercising, because I was a gym rat when I was younger, and I hate it now, but I need to do a better job at it. But as far as my health, once a year, definitely once a year.
Do you care to expound on the findings that?
Yeah. So when I turned 40, my doctor said your red blood cell count is high. We're going to send you over to the cancer center at Christiana Mall, Christiana Hospital. I'm sorry. And when we went there, they did all their tests and everything, and they came back and said, well, you don't have the traditional cancers that are out there, but you do have a form of blood cancer called polycythemia vera, and it's PV for short. And basically that just means that my body, my bone marrow produces too many red blood cells, which causes my blood to thicken.
Okay.
And with thick blood, you can have a stroke or a heart attack. Now here's the kicker. Most people, when they're diagnosed with it, there's a 10 to 15 year lifespan.
Ooh.
I was diagnosed at 40. And because I was proactive, again, there's that key word, proactive. Because I was proactive, I turned 60 in a couple of months. Cool. So one of my my main thing is I gotta watch what I eat, but for the rest of my life, part of my treatment is I gotta do a phlebotomy once a quarter. And that helps keep my red blood cell level and within the range this needs to be in.
Okay. Phlebotomy?
Phlebotomy, it means I'm sitting in a chair, they hook, a matter of fact, you can see right here, I just did it. I'm sitting in a chair, they hook a bag up and they take a pint of blood from me.
Okay.
That's what that means.
Okay.
So people who donate blood, that's just called a phlebotomy.
Okay.
But for me, it's a part of my health, taking care of myself.
Yeah, I tell you, it's great to be proactive because you're proactive, you get something, you can be reactive.
Yes,
you
yes.
know, instead of being reactive because you wasn't proactive,
right.
you know?
And most people, from my doctor told me, most people who are reactive instead of being proactive, most people who are diagnosed with this is because they had some kind of traumatic experience happen to them, i.e. heart attack or a stroke. And that's why that lifespan came up 10 to 15 years.
Okay.
If you're proactive, as you can see, you would never know looking at me
Exactly.
that I'm walking around with cancer, in a sense.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right,
Because I stay on it. And I was proactive when I jumped.
Yes. Yeah. It's good stuff, man. As an organization, what do you guys do regularly to support men's health, physically and mentally?
Yeah, so I know for us, we spend a lot of time in the community talking to men about mental health and physical health. We actually have one of our brothers who's a chief surgeon up at Christiana, so we spend a lot of time with him to help educate them about heart disease and things of that nature, taking blood tests every year so you can make sure that you keep up on those types of things. So we really spend a lot of time in the community with different workshops and seminars to really talk about, like I said, the physical health as well as mental health, because it's a combination in our eyes, right? So that's how we like to do it.
And for us, same thing, community service is a big part. And along with that community service, we set up stations and we hand out literature and we also talk about the different types of health issues that are out there. And having several brothers in my chapter that are prostate cancer survivors, they're on the front line, talking to folks and handing information out, trying to get these men, and if they bring their significant other with them, trying to get them to push these men to go get checked. So we do this, we pretty much the same thing. We're all about service in our community. One way, however we do it, but bottom line is we're all about service in our community.
And the age range, right?
Yeah.
We start young, we get to older. Like we even talk to a lot of the teens.
Yeah.
Let them know, hey, you need to stay on these things, even beyond high school and so forth.
And it's interesting you say that because I got a coworker. He's like, yo, I've been having pain in my chest. Are you going to see the doctor? Nah, yo. Why? You know what I mean? You got a pain in your chest you've been dealing with for the last week or so, month, whatever.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? You waiting for you to fall out on everything? You got young kids and all that. So, we try to stress to the young as well as the old. You got to take care of yourself. You only got one body and one life to live.
Absolutely. And I like what you said about, bringing the partners along because, I think bringing partners along helps the process, helps to push you there. And not only it gives them understanding of what you're going through, as well as giving you an understanding if the shoes are on the other foot so that you can help as well.
And they got questions that we probably wouldn't think of because we're dealing with this. But they got questions because they're on the outside looking in. And they got questions, and sometimes them questions be like, oh, I don't believe you asked that, but I'm glad you did.
Exactly. I saw this thing on Instagram the other day. It was a couple going to the doctor. It was the man, he had his doctor's visit and his wife was going along. And, and he's complaining the whole way, asking, well, why are you going? Why do you keep going? She said, because when you come back, you're not going to tell me what happened.
Yes,
And she said, as a matter of fact, why don't you stay home and I'll go to your place.
I'll go in your place, right.
Exactly. Because you're not going to give me the information.
And that's pretty much true. How was the visit? It was okay. What did he say? He said, I need to do that. So that's true. Might have been a TikTok joke or whatever, but that's true.
Exactly. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. You don't need to go because you're not going to give me the answers anyway. But, that communication is paramount because of the fact, like, you talk about it.
Right.
And, sometimes we walk in and we're depressed or sad or whatever and don't want to talk about anything. But if you got into the habit of talking, then, those days will be few and far between because, you're going to have your support system. You're not going to, be looked down on. You're going to have someone that's going to really support you.
That, the key word is support system. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know that you have somebody
Right.
there that's going to help push you and guide you. And,
Right.
Exactly.
and those days where you're not doing what you're supposed to do, they're going to make sure you do what you're supposed to do. Right.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
exactly.
to no end where you have to hide and do it, huh?
Right.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So now here's a question. Did you guys know that June is Men's Health Month?
I didn't know it was Men's Health Month because there's so many initiatives in the month of June.
My man.
Black Music Month,
Yeah.
Black History Month.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
You got Pride Month. All those
Pride Month,
things
yeah.
though are more prevalent, more out front. Everybody hears about them. So more power to them.
Right.
But for us, I think we need to be more vocal and get those things heard and get that out into the open where everyone knows
Agreed.
that June is Men's Health Month,
Okay.
and let's do some things about it.
Okay.
Some more commercials, some more whatever.
Right.
Get it out there. Get it out. Maybe Christiana Hospital could do something to help us out. And the reason I mentioned them because that's a segue to 2 Thursdays ago I went to my urologist, and he gave me the C word, which is the good C word, cured,
Okay.
which was
Okay.
absolutely
Okay.
great. But during that visit, I asked him to sit, and he said he would. But of course, the practice has to vet this podcast to make sure that it fits their criteria.
Right.
Which I don't think there's anything on here that we're talking about that's going to cause him not to come. But his willingness to come to speak about it, he said, because he's an expert. And I said, yeah. I said, and what I'm doing, I'm giving it from my point of view. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any degrees to say that I know anything about prostate cancer. All I can tell you is I had it, and this is what I did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Other than
Talk
that,
about your experience.
right.
That's
Other than
really
that,
good,
I throw my hands up because I don't know.
Yeah, let the experts talk about it.
Exactly.
Information.
And it's interesting you say that because one of our brothers, who's a survivor of the prostate cancer, he at one of our presentations, he actually had his doctor talk about it as well.
Yeah.
And he gave us some information that you wouldn't have thought about because we're not doctors, we don't experience, we're not in that field, we don't deal with it every single day.
Exactly.
He had that knowledge and shared it with us, and came out statistics and all that kind of stuff. So it's good if you can get that, and if you can get it to come through. That'd be great.
As long as they vet it and say it's good, he's going to be here. When I talked about it, I was surprised. His eyes lit up.
Ooh.
I was surprised.
That's
And actually, that was the second surprise I got. The first surprise was when I went to my eye doctor. And I was telling him about it. And I was like, tell me, how does eyes sort of...
Quite a bit.
Yeah. I was like, wow. He was telling me I was fascinated by all the things that he could find out from looking in your eyes.
Oh yeah,
Right.
quick story. Like I was diagnosed a couple of years ago as pre-diabetic because I do have diabetes that runs in my family. And so as soon as he told me that, he said, "Oh, you need to change your diet, watch your sugars, carbs, all this other stuff." So I totally got online with that. But then when I went to the eye doctor, and they took a certain type of X-ray of the eye, they could tell me whether or not diabetes is actually part of it. Like, and they even showed me this is what a normal eye looks like. This is what it looks like.
Right.
So I'm like, okay.
I was fascinated.
Right.
He told me he sent people to the emergency room from
Right there. Yeah.
because of what he saw in
the
their
eyes.
eyes.
Yeah.
So he's going to sit. So,
Nice.
That's good.
Nice.
Very
and
nice.
actually,
If you can get both of them together, that means that might be an hour, So.
yep. So that's
That'd be nice.
So
Cool.
so both of them, really, they're on board.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good.
And the other thing that came out of my urologist visit is he told me that there's a bill in Delaware, HB 302, and this bill would get free prostate screenings for all men, regardless of insurance or not. So I looked into the bill. In May, it passed the House, and actually June 20th, it passed the Senate. So in 2025, it's going to be open to all men.
Now, is that as your primary care physician, or is that a certain location? Or do you know?
It didn't go into those details, but I
Okay.
think any place you go
Okay.
will be giving it
That's
to
good.
you. Now,
That's good.
of course, the American Cancer Society says 50 is the testing age for prostate
Time to
cancer.
change now.
Well, that's what they said. Now, they also said men at risk, it will be 45, which is, they say African American, that are at risk. And then, if you have it in your family, 40. So it's tiered, but, you know, it's still good. You know, you meet those criteria, 40, you know, with a parent, because it's a line relative.
Okay.
You know, so, which means, you know, your mother, father. Well, not mother, but father. Because that'd be
father,
something.
grandfather, great grandfather. We got some comment. Yeah, we got some explaining to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So now, just imagine this passed nationally. You know, like no matter where you are in this country.
Right.
You know.
You know, it's great to hear, but how that saying go? You can teach them. I mean, you can take them, but you can't make them drink.
Yeah.
You know,
that next step, you gotta get them
it's
there.
good to know, but you gotta get exactly. You gotta get them there, and that's the thing where sometimes you know us as men, especially men of color, need that kick in the butt.
Right.
Man,
And that's kind of the work that I'm hoping that we can do here.
Cool.
Is kick them in the butt. Take them dragging, kicking and
However
screaming.
you're gonna do it, yeah. Kicking and screaming, get them in there, but at least
Exactly.
you know, and the significant other, your family or something know which way we gotta go.
Right, and to get the word out there, because you know, depending on someone's situation, they may not have insurance or may not be able to afford to get it. But now that they know this is out there and it's free, you know, they could move forward with it. Because you know, I would hate for this program to be put in place and it's not
nobody
used.
takes advantage of it.
Takes advantage, exactly.
Right, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So.
So, having said that, also, how are they getting that? Did they say how they're getting that word out to let folks know that it's free?
I think it's still probably new on that side, and that's where it's going to be, you know, relying on us in the community, community organizations to take this information and just start getting into churches and schools, whatever the case we got to do to get
doctors should
doctors,
be
What was it?
50. No,
I'm saying, what was the bill that was
HB
passed?
302, you said?
Oh, HB 302.
HB 302. Okay, so Delaware HB 302. All right.
Yeah.
Because the reason I asked, because, like I said, I do have members who are survivors, and they speak on a regular, and that'd be a good thing to pass along to them. So as they're speaking, they can bring that up as well.
So, and again, it has passed, so it is happening, but not until 2025. So, but you know,
that's where we can get an early start, start getting
putting it in here. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, but again, if this thing could be passed nationally, that would be a great thing. And then the other thing that I think would be absolutely beneficial is if we were able to have a prostate cancer awareness or men's health awareness month. It doesn't have to be, you know, one specific thing. Just a month of men's health awareness programs. You know, just pushing, getting out and pushing the word. Get out there. Trucks going by, taking tests in the neighborhood. Because you know we do have deserts. You know, which I think I can't fathom the fact that there are no hospitals close enough for people to get to. You know. So, but that's where we are. So you know, trucks to go driving through, and you know, you guys are in these organizations, and I know you got what, hundreds of thousands of people, tens of thousands of people. And I know there are lobbyists, there's mayors, there's senators, there's lawyers, there's all walks of life. You know, just make an effort to try to get this, get that month passed, because that would take like politics and so on. I mean, I'm not a politician, don't know much about it. Well, I know a bit about it, but not enough to actually lobby for something like this to be passed to get us a month. I mean, and even our women, draw on them. They have breast cancer awareness month. Where did you start? How did you get there? How can we get there? You know?
Resources.
We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We got a starting point. You know
and it's working well. So
we
just align that with their process.
Exactly. I know they won't want a joint month though. You know how they
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
because you can
Stay
see
away
what
from our
happens.
month.
Yeah. And they don't want no
We
joint.
got ours. You
Yeah,
get your own.
you know,
Exactly.
but that could,
Exactly.
you know, again, I think that would be tremendous. I mean, of course, now Father's Day is in June. June would be the month. But
Right.
again, we have so
Ideal.
many things going on. Like I said, we got to take over. This is a takeover. We're taking our month
We're
back.
taking over. Yeah.
You know, but yeah. So we have. So any thoughts? Anything you guys wanna?
No, I mean, I think as though we definitely have to be more, like, my key word is just proactive.
Yes,
I
yes.
just feel as though we definitely have to be more proactive in taking care of ourselves. And now with this HB 302 bill being passed, getting that word out, there's no excuse.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about you, but we know what excuses are.
You know what excuses are, absolutely. And,
Excuses are tools of the incompetent.
Exactly. Yeah.
and don't be afraid to tell your significant other or your children. Like I
Right.
talk to my children all the time about where I am from a health perspective.
Yeah.
I don't want them to worry. I don't want them to be concerned. You know, those are the type of things as well, right? So
Right.
it's, you know, like I said, be proactive. Go out there, get the test done, get the examinations. Get out there and get what you need to get done. But also make sure you stay transparent with a lot of your family members and everything
Exactly.
as well. Get that support
That's
behind you.
absolutely.
And
true.
another thing to add to that, when you are getting tested, you got to understand, if you catch this soon enough, it's curable.
Yes, absolutely.
It is curable if you catch it soon enough, and that's why it's important to be proactive.
Would be proactive.
Because just like, and for the most part, I can't say for all, but I caught mine soon enough.
Caught
And if
mine.
I didn't, I might not be sitting here. 10 to 15 year lifespan.
Right.
Might not be sitting
Absolutely.
here.
That's true.
But being proactive and going out and getting it done now instead of later.
Yep.
And if you feel something that's not right,
Yeah.
go get it checked
Yeah.
out.
What,
right?
what
Don't
did
say-
John Lewis say? If you see something, say
Say
something.
something. You see
I've
something,
known,
say
I've
something.
known
right?
too many guys that would wait and wait. They're like, oh, I'm all right. I'll get worked it out.
No.
And then next thing you know, it's something worse than what it was. Right?
Exactly.
So,
But if you came 2 weeks ago,
correct.
Might have been to do something about it.
exactly.
Yeah, so it
And
is
see,
curable.
yeah.
You just gotta jump on it.
And with me, my son has no excuse because he's our cameraman and he hears all these topics that we're talking about. He has no excuse because he's being told
Right,
over
right,
and
right,
over and
right.
over. It's being beaten into him. You know, so you think your organization though will get behind maybe trying to get Men's Health Month?
Absolutely.
Oh, most definitely.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Locally,
Yes,
nationally,
yeah.
Yes.
they will.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
one of them things where, you present it to your chapter. I don't know if it's, I'm
Same,
assuming the same
same.
apply. You present it to your chapter, and then you present it to the district, and then you present it to national,
Okay.
type thing. So if we can get our nationals to make it happen,
Okay.
Absolutely.
and my brown brother's keeper, type
Okay.
thing,
Okay.
we can make it. Yeah,
So I can
definitely.
count. I
And
can
keep in
count.
mind,
I ain't putting you on
nationally,
point.
they're all a part of the National Panhellenic
Panhellenic,
Council.
yes.
So they talk every month anyway.
Okay.
Right, so now if they all hearing the same message from the ground up, they all gonna probably be on board with each other. So
So that means all of your organizations.
all of the divine
All
nine
of the
organizations.
all 9 organizations, normally you have a representative, usually it's the president, a boss, or whatever, from each one of those organizations are a part of this overall committee called the National Panhellenic Council.
Okay.
And they do a lot of collaborations together and discussing topics and stuff. Bringing this to that table, I don't see a
I
problem.
don't see what.
I don't see a problem.
Now, what about mental health? We talk more about physical health, but mental health, which is like one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
I think if you get your mind right, everything else in your body will work.
Fall in place.
Yeah, because like we talked about the eyes earlier. You remember that kid thing, I really forgot it, but it was talking about how your bones connected. You know, so that in all essence, everything in your body is connected. But that mind, man, that mind will take you places or hold you back from
Right,
places.
right.
You know.
And we've had a number of mental health sessions trying to talk to men, and a lot of them they don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
They feel I can deal with it myself or that sort of thing. But through those
It's not
discussions,
cool.
right, it's not right.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to a therapist. I'm good, right? But when we sit down and talk, and we realize, we got jobs and lives and family and working on our mental health and our physical health and financial, whatever it is, right? There's so much going on in our minds, right? You got to be able to decompress
Yes.
and get it off, those types of things. Even potentially just get other opinions on certain things, So but it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to get these guys out there to really go after that type of support, but it's needed.
So one of the things I like about our church, Alpha Worship Center.
Put the plug in.
Put the plug in. We have a men's group, and our very first Zoom call, as a book we're supposed to read as well, and we started talking about the book, and then it shifted real quick, and we started talking about mental health. And a lot of the things that the brothers are going through.
Right.
And just to have that collaboration with black men talking about issues that they're having. And it went from anything to anything.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And you can appreciate that. As a fraternity, we call it barbershop talk.
That's right. Same
Yeah,
thing.
so same thing. We call it a barbershop. We get a bunch of brothers together. And at one point, one of our brothers did have a barbershop before he moved on from that business. But we used to actually go to a barbershop. You go to a men's barbershop. Man, you go to I don't know if you ever go to a men's barbershop, some of the conversations in there will floor you. Some of the stuff we talk about. And it can get heated. Because everybody's got their opinion. Especially when you start talking about sports. But when you talk about mental health, it takes that one person, in my opinion, to get that ball rolling.
Yes.
Once you get that ball rolling, okay, if he's comfortable enough talking about it, then maybe I should.
Exactly.
And I can bring it up. And then you just get, and that's how that conference call, Zoom call, one person started talking about it, and the next thing you know, the brothers started letting the guard down, and everybody started going with it. And we didn't even talk about the book.
And it's a safe place. And,
and that's one of the things we made sure everybody understood. This is a safe, Vegas rules, this is a safe zone. What we stay here, stays. What we talk about here, stays here.
And then what that uncovered, though, is this is needed.
Right.
Men need to talk. They got a lot to talk about, but they're afraid. I wouldn't say they, we are afraid to actually let your guard down because you don't know who you're talking to, man.
It's trust issue.
And that's one of the better ways to do it, to have men that look like you and have those conversations. Because just talking to a lot of the therapists out there, a lot of the men, unless you look like them or you've experienced what they've experienced, they're not going to open up.
They're not going to understand.
Exactly.
They're not going to understand it either.
They're not going to. I'm going to give you stuff, and they know you're not going to have a clue on what's going on. But having that safe space is much better.
Well, what the pandemic did for me, because I was sort of skeptical about therapists myself. However, during the pandemic, they started having therapists over the phone. So now this person doesn't see me, don't know what I look like, don't know anything. So I could just pour and be raw as I could be.
And you don't know what's on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Even if she she says it, who's she going to tell? She don't know, she don't know who I am.
I did the same thing. Same thing. Mine was the job. Before I retired, mine was the job, and I ended up doing. I had to step away from the job because I just felt it, just building up. You know what I mean? And I had to step away, and I actually talked to a therapist, and then I realized, you know what? I put in 20 years, I'm done. I had to walk away from it because I know if I continue down that path, who knows? But that mental, it's good to be able to talk to somebody. Sometimes it is good to talk in that group, but then sometimes it is good to talk to somebody who has no idea.
No idea. Exactly. And because even in a group that you're talking in the setting that we just described, you still may be a little guarded because of the people on the call. Because, in our group, everybody knows everybody. Everybody knows their spouses. So, it's kind of like,
is he going to say something?
I don't want to, is he going to say something? Or I don't want to say that about it. Or I don't want to look bad in front of these guys. I don't want to look weak or whatever the case may be. So all of those things are in it. But if this person is someone that you don't know, you've never seen you.
Probably never will.
Exactly. You can give them what you got. You know what I mean?
That felt so much better to get off.
Exactly. Exactly. And then, if they could come back with some things, some tools for you to use in your everyday walk, I tell you that works wonders, man. So I was pleased with it, and I'll do it again.
And then
it really helped.
And just imagine you balance that with eating right, the exercise.
Yeah.
Now you compete, right? You got the mind and the body working
body,
together.
and
spirit.
soul.
Absolutely. Going in that one direction. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because we talked about the body. It all works in one divine order. Everything is connected.
That
you
is
know,
correct.
Everything is absolutely connected.
That is correct.
So, you know, and again, in doing these things, you know, just bringing guys together and talking, you know, it's a form of therapy as well.
I agree.
It's a form of therapy that helps us, you know. You could decompress and feel safe. Now, what we're doing here, a lot of people are going to say,
Yeah,
you know what I
we
mean?
welcome it.
So,
I
you know,
welcome it, yeah.
but anyway, this is not so much for me, for you guys, it's for them.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, it's for whoever listens and hopefully takes steps to you know, to walk a better life in terms of their health, their mental health, their physical health, and just, you know, living. You know, because statistics show that we're living longer. So why not live longer, you know,
And
with
be a little more happier.
yeah, happier, healthier.
Healthier.
And, you know, just you be, you know, contribute to society and your well-being, because it first starts with you. That wasn't supposed to, I wasn't supposed to do that.
Got all kind of bangity bang going on.
Yeah, but you know, you start with yourself. When you get yourself in order, you could just, you know, walk through this thing and be happy.
It's different
contributing.
now because there's so many things that are tugging at us. Compared to when I was younger. I mean, when I was younger, we didn't have internet. We didn't have social media.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We went outside and played and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Now you got so many things that are just tugging at this younger generation especially, that it's good to have an outlet.
Yes.
Sometimes you need that outlet. You need to get it off your chest, because stress will take you out.
Oh, yes, it will. Yes,
Take
it
you out
will.
quick.
It has so many different ways to just sort of show itself in your body.
And you might not
I
feel
was
it.
saying,
but
now you're back to the physical.
Yeah, back to the physical, right?
Right.
You might not feel the stress, but stress
Yeah.
it'll take you out of it.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
definitely, it's good to talk about.
Yeah.
Good
Why
to
do I
talk
have
about.
a headache? You know?
Right, right.
How come when this person walks in the room, my head start hurting? No.
Hey, that's real. You might have said that as a joke,
Yeah,
but that's
yeah,
real.
right.
Or you get that anxiety
Yeah,
or something
exactly.
like that pops in. You know, that's
What
real.
now?
Right. That's real.
Yeah, man.
Real talk.
Yeah. So any final thoughts?
My key word, proactive. Proactive. Man, you just gotta be proactive.
Yep. Invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and I really appreciate you guys for coming out,
appreciate you having
taking
Not a
time out
problem.
of your
Thanks for
busy
asking.
schedules.
Thanks for asking. Not a problem at all.
No problem. Well,
Rude to the bros. I had to throw that in there.
I was saying, we gonna go there. We
go ahead, I don't give him a fan check, you know what I mean?
We open the door.
All's good, all's good.
Alpha and Omega, you know, beginning and end. Hey, that's what it is. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Do not let behaviors of others destroy your inner peace. Train your mind to be calm in every situation. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in today to the Lion Den. I'm Renard. Peace.